fellow wanderers, thank you so much for tuning in. My oldest son Eliyahu is about to be bar mitzvah, and what we do when a person becomes bar mitzvah is we buy them a black hat. It just becomes like part of the traditional garb that an individual wears during prayer. But the question that makes me wonder is why? Why do we have to wear a black hat during davening? But before we do any of that, we have to go for a bike ride to get exercise and to get the 3-year-old out of the house. Okay, so now we're on our way to the hat store to get Eliyahu his black hat, and we're going to try to answer the question, why do Orthodox Jews wear black hats during prayer? Let's find out. All right, we made it to the hat store. Let's go inside. This is so much fun. Okay, let's go. Alright, so yeah, they were a little bit too busy to answer our questions, but based on some research, the idea is that when you stand before God, there needs to be an additional awareness to our physical selves. And so we put on a jacket, we wear a black hat, and in some instances we even tie a gartel around our waists just to make the idea of prayer being a little bit more special than just a regular conversation. It's kind of like when you're going to a special event. You get dressed up. You don't just wear a t-shirt and jeans. You put on a suit. You put on a tie. But what's the idea of the hat? Well, if you look at the Shulchan Aruch and the Mishnah Berurah and other sources, the idea stems all the way back to the Kohanim, the priests of the Beis HaMikdash. They would wear a turban on their heads. And the idea being that when you have that additional layer of clothing on your head, it's supposed to remind you that God is above you. Kind of like the reason why we wear yarmulkes, to remind ourselves that God is above us and looking down upon us, and so on and so forth. But why the black hat? Why the fedora? Well, back in the 1930s and 40s, it was very commonplace for everyone to wear a hat of some sort, not just Orthodox Jews. The idea of wearing the hat just had to do with a formality of dress. And as decades wore on, the idea of formality with dress got a little bit lax and got a bit loose, and so there really is no formality anymore. But either way, when Orthodox Jews go to prayer, they wear a black hat, they wear an additional covering, they put their tallis over their heads, something to remind them to make the idea of prayer that much more special. Do you wear a black hat or a baseball hat or a strimal when you go to prayer? What do you think of the black hat concept in general? Let me know in the comments section down below. Also, have you checked out Jewish Music Toronto? Ellie's creating an online database for all of the classic Jewish songs, so if you haven't checked out his channel yet, please do so and tell him that I sent you. Also, have you seen Rabbi Benny's Parsha videos? This guy is phenomenal. He and his family put on some of the most dynamic, most creative, and most engaging videos about the week's Parsha that I personally have ever seen. So go ahead, check out the links below, check out your fellow JewTubers, show them support. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time, Be'ezras Hashem. I love doing that. That's basically all I can do.